Namaste. I'm Kelly Cusick, creator of Callie Rose Spirit Wisdom. I'm an astrologer and a spiritual life coach. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to talk about what it means to become present. Becoming present is the title of my upcoming spiritual retreat in Supetar, Croatia, on the island of Brač, in the midst of the beautiful Adriatic Sea. More on that at the end of my video, but for now, let's jump right into the topic. Becoming present. What does it mean? And why would you want to become present anyway? The dictionary definition of presence is the state of being present. To be present is to exist in the now, in this exact moment. It seems straightforward, but in actuality, we're almost never living in the present moment. Our mind tends to operate almost entirely disconnected from our actual physical experience of any given moment. Think about it. What was the last thought that you recall having? Was it about what you need to buy at the store? What you'll be having for dinner this evening? Maybe it was about the fight that you had with your spouse last night. Perhaps about the driver who cut you off on the way to work this morning. It almost certainly was not about what you were actually experiencing in that exact moment. Our minds constantly race ahead to the yet unformed future in worry and anticipation of what is coming next. Or they linger in the past, reliving our traumas or nostalgically reminiscing about the good old days when life was supposedly somehow happier, better, easier in some indefinable way that we cannot seem to recapture. If you think about it, the future and the past are both merely illusions. They exist only in our imagination. The present moment is all we ever really have. It's the only place we can actually exist, and yet we're rarely there. How could that be? It's because the mind keeps us entirely preoccupied with what if, what was, what could have been. The mind likes to stay busy because otherwise it's unsure of its purpose. If not worrying or remembering, what would it be doing? Is it even needed in the present? It's pretty scary to not be needed. But when we stop the mind's incessant rambling and just take in the present moment, we almost always get a fleeting glimpse of peace. The exact moment we are in is rarely, if ever, unbearable, no matter where we are or what we're doing. Suffering is the result of fear and regret, and that's all in our mind. When we become present, we turn off our mind's aimless rambling for a moment, and we suddenly find a space of serenity, of peace. In that moment, we experience clarity, acceptance, gratitude, and joy. Life lived in the moment is an incredible ride. Without any practice, most of us can hold on to a sense of presence for no more than a second or two. In just the brief span of a minute, or often even less, our mind is off and wandering again. But what if we could hold on to the present moment feeling of peace a bit longer? If we could begin to extend a few fleeting seconds to hours, days, weeks, months, even years, how would our lives change? The answer is pretty much completely. We'd be entirely different people with entirely different motivations, and we would begin to lead very different lives. Lives characterized by peace, clarity, gratitude, and joy. No longer would we be captive to fear, anxiety, anger, and depression. In the present, we find connection to the divine. God is quite simply love, and God is omnipresent. Present, omnipresent, not omnipast or omnifuture. God is always 100% now. There's only one place to meet the divine, to meet love, and that's in the state of presence. Not only can we find God in the present moment, but we will find God. We must find God there. It is unavoidable, and that is exactly why we suddenly discover peace, and why suffering ends the moment we find ourselves fully present. In the present, we have the ability to operate with intention, to focus our desires and our efforts to achieve a purposeful outcome. The scattered thoughts of the mind are silent, and magical, creative insights explode into our consciousness. Have you ever noticed how truly great ideas always seem to materialize from thin air when you least expect them? Our mind isn't their source. In presence, we suddenly see connections and possibilities that were hidden from us before. We tap into the true source. Becoming present is quite simply the practice of extending our tiny glimpses of presence until they become our normal and constant state of being. From that place, we become all that we are intended to be and accomplish all that we were meant to in our lives. If you're like most people, this sounds great, but it also sounds impossible. Our lives and our minds are hectic and crowded with details that ceaselessly demand our attention. That's true. But it's not impossible to escape that pressure, to become present. You can learn how to experience this state of being in your daily life every day, no matter how busy you are. You don't need to quit your job, find a new life partner, lose 20 pounds, or move to a tropical island paradise. You don't need to change any of the external conditions of your life to become present. You need to change yourself internally, and external circumstances will naturally come into alignment. Don't know where to start? I'll show you the way. Join me for the very first Kali Rose spiritual retreat this summer in beautiful Supetar, Croatia, and become present. This week-long experience from June 19th to June 23rd will set your life on a new course of transformation. Begin living each day in peace, clarity, gratitude, and joy, and see where bliss will lead you. Click on the link below to find out more about the retreat and to sign up. Thank you for joining me today. Stay tuned for upcoming videos. I'll be discussing some powerful tools that can help you on your journey to becoming present.